Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we are cooking a traditional Italian recipe from my little Italian book, and this is one of my favourite recipes under a different name. It is called Milanese veal, or as I refer to it, ossobuco. So here's what we need. Now, when I used to make this, I always used to use Mr. Slow Cooker, because that way you can just put it in and you leave it. But this time, I'm doing it on the stovetop with the great big stock pot. It's going to take an hour and a half, and it is really easy to get it to that stage. So you just pop it on, go and do your other chores, and then you come back later and dinner's ready. Anyway, come on in and I'll talk you through this. You also need Mr. Stirring Stick as well, before I forget. Okay, so ingredients are as follows: 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 4 tablespoons of butter, I think that's in there, 2 onions chopped, 1 leek chopped, 3 tablespoons of plain flour, I think they're in there, salt and pepper. I love that salt and pepper makes the ingredients list, as it should. 4 thick slices of veal shin, aka ossobuco. Now, after my last incident that scared the crap out of me with meat, and I'm going through it again with other meat for my boys, I froze these last night. They were delivered to me yesterday. I froze them last night and I got them out this morning. This way, if I got up this morning and I felt like shit and didn't want to cook, it was fine. So these are still a little bit frozen, but by the end of it they'll be fine. They're not fully frozen, but because it's later in the day. But anyway, I'm not going to be playing this game where I'm playing with meat, so to speak, with the freshness of it. So yeah, that's one way to do it. 300 mils of white wine. I just went into Aldi and got some white wine because the other bottle's gone. 300 mils of chicken stock. Made that up with water and the stock powder. Gremolata is just a it's not really, it's what you spread on top. What would I call it? A condiment, maybe? I don't know. A sprinkling. It's basically 2 tablespoons of fresh chopped parsley. I've used that from my windowsill. 1 garlic clove, which I've finely chopped, and the grated rind of 1 lemon. So that's going on the top at the end. Okay, so now that you know what we need, we're going to just kick straight into it. So first of all, we're going to heat the oil and butter in a large heavy based frying pan. I'm not using a frying pan, I'm using a big saucepan. Add the onions and leek and cook over low heat for 5 minutes. So let's go do that. The first thing I truly do recommend that you do before you start is spray the inside of your stock pot, or as it said, frying pan. I could have used my electric frying pan, but I'm just going to use this one today. So might as well use the stove top. Alright, so I'm going to go grab the olive oil and the butter because they're going in first, and it was 1 tablespoon of olive oil. They recommend virgin olive oil. Well, we're in luck because mine's extra. Woohoo! Alright. Crank that up to high heat. Get everything in from the butter. So I've had the butter out, which is really good because it's just melting perfectly. And I think that's still unsalted butter, but I'm adding salt into the recipe, so it doesn't matter. As I say, I'll either use salted or unsalted butter. It really depends on what I've got open at the time. unsalted butter doesn't keep as long as salted butter as well. I think I found that out a while ago again when I used to keep the two butters separated. So now it's just, if you've opened unsalted butter, use it. If you've opened salted butter, use it. Doesn't matter. As I say, we are adding salt, so it's no big deal. Once that's all melted, we're adding the onions and the leek. I was wondering why the leek was so heavy. I've popped it in water because leek's got a lot of dirt in it. I'm just going to quickly drain it. Okay. This is I don't remember putting leek in the normal ossobuco. I think it was normally tomatoes, so it's slightly different. But anyway, I don't miss an opportunity to use ossobuco because I do like it. In you go, onion. In you go. Alright. So I'm gonna stir that around for 5 minutes and then we'll be back. Okay, so while that's going on, keep using the eyes in the back of your head. Pop the flour into a plate, onto a plate. Crank in some salt and pepper. Gonna put a little bit of extra salt in to make up for the fact that it's not in the butter. And I do like my pepper, so I'll go a bit crazy with that one. Alright, toss that about. It's threatening to storm, so I'm at the stage where I'm really hoping that I don't lose power because I've got a lot to do. And I don't really feel like losing power, obviously. Might cool everything down. Don't forget to keep going back and just giving that a bit of a stir. Okay, so let's have a look at our lovely looking ossobuco pieces. Still frozen, but as I said, I don't care. Frozen's better than wondering if it's okay still. Beautiful. Dust it, set it aside. And take those out of the bag. And the beautiful thing about this dish is that everything actually sort of falls off the bone, so to speak. Because they do have a bone in them. That's the bone. Dust it on. Alright. 2 to go. Beautiful. Just going to put that one up there. And I'd recommend any flour left over you put in, just so it'll help thicken it slightly. That looks good. Alright. When I used to do it in the slow cooker, I used to do it this way as well, but then I'd put them straight in because the idea is to brown the meat. But at the end of the day, if you chuck it all in together, you're all good. Alright, I'm not going to dust the excess off because it's all going in. Wash hands and we're going back over to the stove. Okay, so when it's looking like that, it is time to put these babies on top. Oh, yum. So looking forward to dinner. In you go. We're just sitting them on top. Now I'm going to put the rest of the flour in a little bit later. So we're sort of just trying to brown both sides of these now. So give them a few moments on that side. You might want to grab yourself a pair of tongs, and then we're going to flip them over. So grab your tongs now and just flip them over. The fact that they're sitting on the top of something that's already hot is browning them pretty quickly. See? Good. Look good. Alright. Let's go get our liquid and get that in, and then, as I say, we're literally cooking. Okay. Just clean my hands up a little bit. Alright, gradually stir in wine and stock. We'll go with the wine first. Actually, no, we'll go with the stock first. And the only reason why I say that is because that way I can deglaze this if I have to. So we're putting in a total of 600 mils of liquid. If you don't want to use wine, or you haven't got enough wine, make it up with water, as I did on one of the previous episodes. I didn't have enough wine, so I just made the wine up to the correct level with water. It's fine. So that today at least I've got a 50-50 because it's 300 mils chicken stock and 300 mils of wine. So we've got a nice 50-50 blend there. I'm going to pop the flour on the top, and we want to bring to the boil and reduce heat and cover and simmer for 1.25 hours. Where did I get 1.5 hours from? I don't know. Alright, so I'm putting that on the top. And the good thing about that is that will sort of thicken it as well. I do like a nice thick sauce with it. Thank you. Alright. Beautiful. Alright. There we go. Stir away. Stir away. Alright. So bring it to the boil, turn it down, lid on, timer on for 1.25. I'm just going to put my timer on for an hour. Can check back in with you then. We'll see how it's all looking. I'll see you soon. Okay, so we're an hour and a slight whisker. That's how we're looking. So that's looking really good. So it tells you to actually take the osso buco out to thicken it, but since I put the flour in, I'm not going to worry about doing that. So we're pretty much ready to dish up. So let's take it over to the other side of the bench. So when you dish up, obviously one osso buco piece on each plate because there's 4. Some of the liquid, which is basically the onion liquid, and then a little bit of the gremolata on top. Now to make the gremolata, all you're going to do is grab all 3 of these and mix them together and then just sprinkle it over the top. So thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been Milanese veal. I hope you enjoy it. It smells great. Catch you on the next adventure. And don't forget, hit subscribe because you really never know when I'm going to drop an episode.